Sato is a 15-year-old high school student with a not-so-quiet life. From the moment he learned to walk, he almost exploded, until he was arrested for stealing tickets at the subway station when he was in middle school. He suddenly wakes up in a convenience store with injuries all over his body, but he can't remember what just happened. Outside the window, a silver-haired girl was staring at him as if she wanted to say something. Sato was going to buy a lunchbox, but it was sold out, so he had to buy a pack of cakes to eat temporarily. As soon as he got out of the store, he fell onto the street, so everyone took him to the emergency room. The next morning, Sato started the first day of his high school life with a chipped appearance just coming out of the hospital. He was walking to school when he suddenly came across a girl he couldn't remember. She was surprised to see Sato's injury and wondered if he had escaped from the hospital. Sato said that he remembered everything until he entered the store to buy a bento, but after that he couldn't remember anything. Hearing this, the girl burst into tears as if she wanted to offend Sato and immediately turned her face to reveal a strange smile. When going to school, Sato met the gray-haired girl yesterday and asked her to carry the garbage bags. Sato recognized her as an upperclassman and tried to ask her why she was looking at him, but she just coldly walked away. When entering class, Sato was slapped by class president Ume and forbidden him to approach Hana. He immediately asked Ume what he did to Hana yesterday and was immediately given another slap. Sato's school is Karasama's private school, and he lives in the school's dormitory. Students in the dormitory were served breakfast and lunch and dinner were taken care of by themselves, so he had to go to a convenience store to buy lunchboxes every day. Seeing that the lunchbox was half price, Sato excitedly rushed to pick it up and thought that he would have a full meal today. But he was immediately put on the ground with a bruised face since he didn't know. Sato just saw the figure of a certain female student walking away and fainted. While in a coma, he remembered that yesterday he met Hana when he went to buy lunchboxes and then got beaten up by the council, including a silver-haired girl in the party. When he wakes up, he finds himself lying in the grocery store's warehouse with Hana. The owner said that customers here often fight because of the low price of boxed lunches. He also said that the other silver-haired girl was called the Ice Witch. The next morning, when she went to class, the class president again questioned Sato's relationship with Hana. Seeing that he didn't answer, she gave him a series of slaps and then turned and left. That night Hana and Sato meet again at the store to buy boxed lunches. When the 50% discount stamp was affixed, everyone around rushed to compete. While everyone was fighting, Sato was about to jump into the picture of a box. He almost got a pillow in his mouth, but the silver-haired girl appeared to give the other guy a kick to the ground. She knocked over the people who were trying to fight for rice, then turned to Sato with a kick and took the last box of lunch. Before leaving, she told Sato that if you want to survive, come to her club tomorrow morning. The next morning when I arrived, it turned out that this club was a half-price bento lovers association. Inside, Sato sees the silver-haired girl massaging Hana, and she introduces herself as Yarazui. The girl Yarazui immediately grabbed Sato and forced him to sign the application to join the club. After signing the application, he was also strangled by her to the point of fainting. Yarazui began to explain the principle of the battle for boxed lunches at convenience stores. Today, after being torn down and unable to get a lunchbox, Sato and Hana went to another store with Hana. Here the god is an old man and especially often appears an object called a wild boar. The wild boar is a thick-faced fat woman who never obeys any rules. She used to push a cart and scavenge all the lunchboxes, and even take them all before the old man could put on the discount stamp. Because the wild boar took all the rice, Hana and Sato had to share a piece of rice ball and a box of noodles. The next morning, Sato is stopped at the stairs by Ume and given a slap for pulling Hana into the boxing game. On the way back, Sato asked Hana if Ume was related to her, and she replied that she was just an elementary school friend. Before she finished speaking, Hana was beaten by Ume and taken away. In the evening, Sato went to the old man's shop alone to buy rice, and there he encountered a person called a magician. Hearing people say this guy is also very strong, so he decided to buy a box of noodles to be healthy. But when he was encouraged by the magician, he jumped straight into the boar's car but in the end still couldn't beat her. After all, the mage jumped out and let the wild boar crash into the shelf. At this moment, the old man finished gluing the discount stamp, and a rush of people rushed in like a storm. Sato and the mage defeated them all, and he finally got his first lunchbox. On the way back to the club to pick up her bag, Hana suddenly texted Sato. As soon as he answered, he was immediately called by Ume to warn him to throw his phone into the river. When arriving at the club, Sato encounters Yarazui, and she discovers that Sato's lunchbox has a mark. It is a special stamp that is affixed to the lunchbox that I like the most, the winner of the lunchbox with the mark. Considered the winner of that day. Sato had said that he was helped by someone called a magician. Yarazui said his name is Shiro and was also a member of the club. In the club's achievement album, Shiro has won quite a few stamps bearing the mark. And Sato's achievement of winning the mark was also recorded in the album by Yarazui. The two sat down to enjoy their lunchbox after heating it in the microwave. Sato felt very happy while enjoying the hot mackerel rice for half the price. The next morning, Sato had his phone searched by the class rep, but for fear of being thrown into the river, Sato left it at home. Seeing Sato's ragged appearance, Yarazui helped him fix his clothes, but after that, she threw it out the window. At this moment, the girl Ume came over and apologized for misunderstanding Sato. Turns out Hana had told Ume that she was following Sato to get material for the novel, since she was originally part of the school's novel club. Ume even came here to announce that she is the student council president from now on. Ume looked at Sato and said that the student council was cleaning up the school grounds and preparing to burn the trash. Hearing that, Sato panicked and ran down the school grounds and rushed into the incinerator to find clothes. In the evening, Sato and Hana went to the store to buy lunchboxes, where they encountered a young man named Yamahara. He also comes here to get lunch, but he works in a group called the Hounds. When the time comes, the Hounds will jump out to stop the others and open the way for another group to buy. After that, they will turn around and change positions for those who have taken the rice out, because there is one more rule that is not to attack the person holding the lunchbox, so the whole group smoothly got rice for everyone. The group had eaten together at the gym, but Sato felt something was off. After eating, Yamahara invited Sato and Hana to join the group of hunting dogs, but Sato hesitated so he didn't decide. Didn't join the group, but a few days later Sato still accompanied the group of hounds to grab the rice, but every time he ate, he felt something was not right. The next day, Sato decided to decline the invitation to join the hound group and turned to confront them. He had realized that the lunchbox had to be won from the strong to be truly delicious. Sato had already defeated both the hounds and the Yamahara, but suddenly Dandu-sensei appeared to give him a punch. He was the leader of the hounds. But because Sato had a lunchbox in his hand, he won. Hana also managed to get a lunchbox and both of them went to the club to eat it deliciously. One morning, when he woke up, Sato saw his cousin in his room. This cousin's name is Ayame and she is also a first-year high school student. The next day, after going to the club, Sato found her older sister Ayame also here and teasing Hana. Through Yarazui's words, Sato learns that his cousin is also a wolf. Yarazui challenged Ayame to a match at the convenience store. Whoever got the rice first would win. That night at the convenience store, when the stamps had just been affixed, they all rushed forward, Sato's sister alone through a crowd of people. But unfortunately lost to the ice witch in the end, and Sato was trying to grab a tofu hamburger lunchbox when a stranger interjected. This name is also quite strong and the two have both won the tofu hamburger lunchbox. In the end, Sato prevailed and won the lunchbox convincingly. Ayame lost to Yarazui, so she bought a box of noodles. Knowing that she was sad, Yarazui asked Sato to go and comfort her. The sisters had lunch at the park and Sato gave his cousin the same meal. The next day, Ayame called Sato to her school to get the clothes she borrowed from Hana, but upon arrival Sato was stripped of her clothes by the security guard to check. The snub-nosed girl introduces herself as a Sebi and intends to shake hands with Sato. Ayame dragged Sato out of the room and the two went to a large supermarket in the east of the city to buy rice. When entering the supermarket, Sato took on an extremely strange appearance. Yarazui and Hana were also present, even the stranger he defeated yesterday. Yarazui said this supermarket is the territory of a wolf named Monarch. He is a man who defies tricks to win. Since Yarazui was the one who gave Sato the advertisement for this store, she came here to make sure Sato didn't run into Monarch. She also said that the discount goddess of this supermarket was also a wolf in the past.